HelloFresh makes dinner time a snap with deliciously easy options that will please everyone at the table. A recent hit at my house? Vegan beans and greens stuffed peppers with creamy hummus. It's absolutely delicious. Get 16 free meals plus free shipping with code MLM16 at hellofresh.com/MLM16. There's a new MLM in town, and this time it's bringing the joy and comfort of being outside into your very own home or, gray, lifeless office space. For the very low price, might I add, of $13,000. And that's right, everyone. For the price of a car down payment, or in some cases even a house down payment, you can go to Olive Tree People and harness the powers of the olive tree and all of its healing glory. No, they're not going to put an actual tree in your house or office. That would be, a little insane. Instead, they're going to just give you a giant wall system that allows you to listen to the inside of the tree in real time. The relaxing tree frequency system connects you with nature and cures of all your stress, which is probably a good thing considering you won't be able to afford anything else ever again after paying for it. With the help of IT professionals, biologists, and others, they have tapped into the soothing sound of an olive tree, which perfectly matches the ideal calming frequency to ensure you are living in a state of constant peace. The trees are your new therapist, leading you through your struggles with their inner songs and connecting deep within you to heal your soul. But don't worry, if you don't want to pay for the giant wall insert, you can also get other products that connect you with nature, like air. Yes, the air is also for sale, everyone. So we've just gone full Lorax here, haven't we? Then there is the skincare, the elixirs, and the shampoo, all supposedly scientifically proven to help you live your best life and even nip some health issues in the bud. At least, that's what the founder, Thomas Lomel, claims after consulting 1 or 2 doctors along the way. To afford all of the healing products pushed forward by Olive Tree People, it would be nice to have some spare money coming in. And wouldn't you know it, Olive Tree People have a solution for that too. You can start your own business. Of course, there's a few quirks. There are some startup fees associated with the idea, and you may have to continuously buy their products to rank up. And also, you may have to depend on building a massive downline in order to, ensure success. But everything is possible if you just believe, right? After all, this business isn't about getting rich quickly, it's about helping people and healing the world. They are definitely not a pyramid scheme, and even if they tell you that right on their Join Us page, pointing out that, quote, a pyramid scheme is illegal, so they obviously cannot be one. I don't know about you, but that absolutely has put my mind at ease. There seems to be a lot going on with the newest MLM sweeping the US, and I'm sure there will be more to come. But for now, let's do some digging and see what they have to offer today on Multi-Level Mondays. And if you want to find out even more information about some of your favorite episodes, up-and-coming episodes, ad-free episodes, and even bonus episodes that might be a little too spicy for YouTube and Spotify, then make sure to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Illuminaughtii. Last weekend, I spoke about the Cuomo dynasty, but this weekend, I've got an episode about Bad Dragon coming up. It's way too suggestive for YouTube, shall we say, but it's an interesting dive all the same. There are also some serious accusations and allegations at play here, ones that could be criminal. I highly recommend you take a look. And if that topic isn't for you, you can always make a suggestion in the Patreon private Discord server too. It's a really wholesome, good time over there, and we've got a live Q&A coming up at the end of the month for everyone too. So check it out again, patreon.com/Illuminaughtii. The founder of Olive Tree People has a long and, I'll admit, incredibly interesting backstory. Thomas Lomel, the owner of the now global Olivda International LLC, founded the company after a life-changing journey, a story that is proudly displayed on the company's website. According to Thomas, by the age of 29, he had founded a group of companies that had over 1,000 employees and 17 different corporations. Something that I do find odd is that he never mentions what these companies are or what they did. There's no mention of names or anything. I even went and checked out his LinkedIn to see if he may have mentioned it there, and absolutely not, there's nothing. The only time I was actually able to find any indication of what he did in the past was an AP article where he stated he was just a real estate investor. While he was basking in the alleged success of his massive company conglomerate with no name, something terrible happened to him. He was diagnosed with a chronic illness that required daily medication. And once again, there's also a serious lack of information here. We have no idea what the chronic illness was. And truthfully, he doesn't have to disclose it, but as he makes it a vital part of a lengthy story about developing a product that claims to heal other people, I do find it a bit just weird that there's no details whatsoever. There's no humanizing moment or anything like that. But whatever the health issue was, Thomas allegedly found a way to rid himself of it, the sacred olive tree. Desperate to break away from the medication that seemed to be making his life absolute hell, he went in search of a holistic healing treatment, something that could help him feel better both mentally and physically. Suddenly, he claimed he had a vision of something that could help. Ever since he was young, he had a strong desire to travel to Greece, grow trees, and produce olive oil. Nowhere in the story does he say that this is exactly what he did, though he did make his way to Italy at one point. Instead, due to his fascination with olive trees and the warm sensation that flowed through him whenever he thought of them, he decided to intuitively start bringing the tree into his life by consuming a shit ton of olive oil. According to him, he was consuming over 50 liters a year, and by the grace of the alleged healing powers of the substance, his entire life began to change. He was better, not just physically, but mentally. After, quote, 176 days of drenching himself in olive oil and drinking a glass every morning, he said he was completely restored. And this was it. This was his calling, to save the world with olive oil. What followed was years of research and traveling to develop a product that could harness the supposed healing powers of the olive tree. And eventually, the idea was born for an elixir that could be consumed by the masses, and after testing ingredients and running it past friends in Italy and Spain, he sent it off to doctors and customers for their review. But he couldn't just stop at an elixir. No. Clearly, this had to be a skincare line as well. But again, this had to be something different and something magical. What was the solution? No water. There would be absolutely no water in the skincare. A revolutionary idea. So after years of developing the products, he finally released his own line, and so the story of Olive Tree People was complete. He was just a simple man who had his life saved by a tree and was now selling skincare products. No one seemed to adamantly question the background story of the new company or the credentials of the founder. But hey, it's just skincare. What could possibly go wrong? Truthfully, the products themselves don't have a terribly long list of concerns to go along with them. Thomas Lomel was right to assume that waterless skincare would become the next big thing. In the long run, waterless skincare is addressing a massive issue in the beauty industry: water waste. Traditional skincare can contain 60 to 80% water, which is insane considering how much a lot of them cost and the concern about how water waste impacts the world around us. And over the last few years, a plethora of companies have emerged to address that issue by removing water from their products altogether or providing just add water formulas where the consumer is able to decide how much they need. So in the long run, it does seem like Lomel was actually pretty ahead of the curve for a method of product production that experts say will expand by 13.3% by 2031, which is actually pretty cool. As for the olive oil, he isn't completely wrong there either when it comes to skincare, though it's not exactly a new idea that he kind of crafted. Studies have shown that olive oil can be wonderful for your skin. It can help after a sunburn, open your pores, and has great moisturizing qualities. But like most skincare, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Too much olive oil on your skin can wind up clogging up your pores or lead to acne breakouts. Additionally, some studies have suggested that constantly applying olive oil, as Lomel suggests that you do in his lengthy story, it can actually make your skin more sensitive and lead to the development of eczema, otherwise known as atopic dermatitis. In the long run, there is nothing inherently dangerous about the product. Putting olive oil on your skin isn't going to kill you. It just might be good to use it sparingly and to keep an eye on how your skin reacts, which is pretty much the case for every skincare product known to mankind. And while none of this really bothers me, there is something about Olive Tree People's marketing that's a little bit concerning, and that's how they advertise the health benefits of them. You all know I'm a stickler for some hard evidence and scientific proof when it comes to health benefits, and in the case of this company, there seems to be an extremely short supply of that. On the website, the company promotes a list of medical and physical benefits of their products. This ranges from improvement in fat metabolism to improvement of lung function by approximately 20%. It also says it can lead to a 30% improvement of liver and gout metabolism and the normalization of cholesterol with a reduction of more than 30%. Prior to listing out all the benefits, they say it has been approved by conventional medicine. Now, all I could find was the approval of one doctor that was proudly displayed, but I don't think that equates to being, conventionally accepted. The report provided was also written in German, so I'll admit I did have to use Google Translate to kind of help get to the bits of this. So obviously not everything is going to translate 100% perfectly, but it's translated well enough to get the general gist. The approval, proudly shown on the website, is the result of one doctor following one patient after they tried the Olive treatment. And that's it. There was no control group, and it doesn't seem to have ever been replicated. The medical approval is just based solely on one person. Anyone even relatively familiar with the scientific method or the burden of proof would laugh this claim out of a room. It's a case study and that's it. We can't claim that something has wonderful healing powers based on one case study of one person. But that's kind of what this company is doing anyway. I would love if they could provide more studies to back up their claims, but given the company's very acute focus on the holistic approach, I don't really see that happening. But hey, maybe they will prove me wrong and provide more studies in the future. Consuming olive oil actually does have scientific proof behind it that says olive oil can decrease your cholesterol levels, but it can depend on how it is produced and the overall quality of it. But there isn't really much proof that just consuming olive oil can reduce cholesterol to the point that this company is claiming without any further changes to your diet overall. In other words, it probably isn't the magic cure-all that olive tree people are hoping it is. However, skincare and elixirs are not the only products that this company is promoting to the masses. They also have a new, exciting product that apparently lets you listen to the frequency of trees. And that's all for the benefit of your mental health. So after about 14 years of running a skincare and elixir MLM, essentially, Thomas Lomel decided to expand his horizons. In 2015, he introduced a brand new product, the ability to talk to trees. And okay, that's not exactly what it is, though. It sounds really funny that way. But it's a product that apparently lets you hear the frequency of an olive tree all the time, whenever you want. I'm really not going to pretend to understand exactly how this is supposed to work, so I'll just let them try to explain it. According to the Olive Tree People website, quote, Olive Re, connected to nature, transports the energy and primeval information of our mountain olive trees to people all over the world via a 432 Hz frequency transmitter attached to the trees. I'm still confused, and if I'm being completely honest here, is this a bunch of microphones that are just set up and attached to olive trees? Is there something connected to just one tree? Did we get to pick the ideal frequency of an olive tree and then claim it was connected to that tree? I don't understand the methodology here. But regardless, here's what you can buy if you want to be comforted by the sound of a tree. A nearly $230 bracelet or an almost $13,000 wall mount. $13,000. Now there are a bunch of smaller products too, like earpods that I think let you listen to tree frequencies as well. Then there are two more that especially caught my attention, something called Olive Air and Olive Water. And I really, really hope that I'm just reading too much into the air one and that there's more to it, because from the very short description of the product, it literally sounds like that guy from the Lorax movie who bottled air instead of just planting trees to make himself rich. Olive Air's description reads, here directly, energy-filled air like a mountain olive grove. Does that not sound just a bit insane to you? Here, I have gathered the air from a place with trees, so you don't have to go to the place with trees. I don't know, it's very weird. The vibes are incredibly off. Theoretically, the whole thinking behind this tree therapy idea is not completely insane. Now, there is a reason why people tell you to go touch grass. Going outside and being around nature has been shown in multiple studies to help people feel less stressed and improve mental health. Some studies have found that even looking at pictures of trees can help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. So using the idea of tree therapy isn't an absolutely wild concept. With that being said though, Olive Tree People isn't suggesting that you plant some trees to listen to the frequency yourself or travel to the forest for some comfort. They're suggesting that you spend money on a watch, a wall decal, or apparently air to just hear the frequency of the trees, and that just feels very disingenuous to me. The frequency aspect of the products itself actually makes some sense too. Sound frequencies are actually used by people to reduce anxiety and promote physical relaxation. Music therapists, for example, use sound frequencies to assist their clients. So once again, it's not like the whole product is deranged. But the way it's marketed feels incredibly weird. It's like they combined two different styles of relaxation techniques and therapy, being outside and music, and then didn't do either one of them correctly. The product seems excessively overpriced if it's a mere frequency machine, because you can look up music at 432 Hz and get virtually the same effect for free. Just saying, if you're curious, it's literally free. In fact, I'll put a playlist that I found in my sources so that you can listen to it if you ever need it. And you'll also find similar playlists that have this frequency on a bunch of other music streaming sources. Basically, like whatever service you probably use, it probably has a calming music playlist that you can pull up. It feels to me like the only reason that this product is so expensive is that it boasts a brand new technology that allows you to literally listen to the frequency of a tree in real time, something that the company swears they have studied extensively, but do not provide an in-depth explanation of how they discovered this incredibly difficult sound. While the company writes that this new cutting-edge technology has been won on the backs of, quote, bioscientists, physicists, and IT experts, making it sound incredibly official, might I add, it never actually explains how they developed the product at all. I get not defining it down to the nitty-gritty, especially if maybe there's like a copyright or something in place, or they have something, patented or trademarked, but a slight explanation of how this all works would go a long way in making me and probably other potential consumers believe that a frequency machine that costs nearly $13,000 is even remotely worth it. Regardless, the plan seems to be working, and the company is growing at the speed of light, even in the process of developing a mindfulness app that will allegedly allow the trees to be your personal therapist. Apparently, there is also some guided meditation, which, once again, has actually been shown to help reduce stress. But there are other applications that offer this that aren't selling it in such a disingenuous way or through the harmful direct selling method. Olive Tree People is valued, by the way, at a whopping $95 million, and it's not exactly hard to see why, considering how they advertise their products and the life story of the founder. But if a company is truly about helping people and making sure they can live their best lives, their best stress-free lives, might I add, then why the hell is it an MLM? And before we continue on to discuss the MLM of Olive Tree People, I'm going to take a moment to place today's sponsors here. From the gas pump to the grocery store, your utility bills and favorite streaming services, inflation is everywhere. Like seriously, please make it stop. Thankfully, there is a company out there that's giving you a much needed break, and that's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting from just $15 a month. And at this point, I've been using Mint Mobile, like I said, for like 2.5 years, going on 3 years, something like that. And it has been an absolute breeze. One, saving money, like from going from paying like $180 a month to like $30 a month because I pay for like the unlimited everything plan, has been very nice on the wallet. But the service has been great. When there has been an issue, customer service has been awesome. Just everyone's been awesome all around. So for people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And by going online and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings to you. And you can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. So switch to Mint Mobile to get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/MLM. That's mintmobile.com/MLM. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/MLM. Spring is a time of growth and transformation, and Dipsy is here to help you explore the sensual side of this season of renewal. With Dipsy's sexy audio stories, you can indulge in your blooming desires, newfound passions, and the thrill of taking risks. And that's because Dipsy is an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories designed by women for women. They bring scenarios to life with immersive soundscapes and realistic characters. Discover stories about second chance romances, adventurous vacation flings, and hot and heavy hookups. And new content is released every single week, so in between listening to your favorite stories again and again, you'll always find something new to explore. Let Dipsy be your go-to place to spice up your me time, explore your fantasies, maybe even relax and unwind. I absolutely love their sleep stories, might I add. Or even heat things up with a partner if that's what you're into. And for listeners of the show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/MLM. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to dipseastories.com/MLM. dipsystories.com/MLM. Sure, the selling of tree frequencies for an outlandish amount of money is disingenuous, and the founder's story seems to be missing a couple of clarifying points that bring the legitimacy of it to question. But they are also currently running as an MLM, which automatically raises many red flags for me. If you want to get started with selling with Olive Tree People, you first need to buy the digital enrollment kit. This will give you access to a training platform called Behind the Counter and a personal website. It's not bad for the first purchase, it's just $50. but still, you shouldn't have to pay to work unless you are literally starting your own business, just a reminder. But then of course, there is more because of course you need to sell products, right? This is where joining gets just a touch more expensive. The lowest package that you can buy to get the business off the ground is $136, and the highest, about $875. Clearly, these are not the highest buy-in prices I've ever seen. I think LuLaRoe still has everyone beat by leaps and bounds. I think when they had like that $5,000 startup package, I think that's one of the craziest I've ever seen. But these packages by no means are the lowest either. I will give it to Olive Tree people though, that they don't seem to be selling the whole get rich quick message that we usually see with typical MLMs. But in a way, that also makes sense because their entire brand is about helping people, freedom, and being stress-free, so it would be a bit confusing to see messaging like that being advertising all about making money when this is all about helping and relaxation. Instead, it's mostly about their mission to heal the world, though they do promote incentives such as a trip to the treehouse in Africa. So, they're not completely devoid of the MLM handbook to pull people in, but they are a little bit more covert about it. Now, after you buy your products, you're off to the races, selling everything you can and hopefully making some money. And oh yeah, building a downline. We obviously cannot forget that part. Now let's take a look at their compensation statement, shall we? They have a pretty standard commission package. The more you sell, the more commission you get. That's pretty standard within direct sales, MLMs, and even just regular sales. It goes up to 35% at the highest. And as always, you can get bonuses based on your downline, so the more they sell, the more you make. But looking a little deeper, the real way for you to make money isn't about how much your downline sells, but by how much they buy. Moving up the ranks to earn more money and gain more members on your downline requires you to earn what is called personal volume points. As their compensation describes, and this is a quote, "A point value is assigned to commissionable products sold by Olive Tree people. An Olive consultant's personal volume is the cumulative point total of products that an Olive consultant has purchased or sold to their personally enrolled retail customer in a calendar month." Theoretically, you could earn these points from your sales and rank up, but you would have to be selling an absolute shit ton of products to do it. And as we know from looking at MLMs for so long, it's pretty darn close to impossible to do that by yourself. What is more likely to happen is that people will just buy a massive inventory and tell their downline to also buy a massive inventory to keep moving up. I'm not saying that this is what is happening definitively. This is a relatively new MLM with very little data on them, but just based on past history and understanding of how MLMs work, that's most likely the route that they're going to go down, but currently it's up for speculation, so that is just an opinion. They do go on to state that PV points cannot be earned with product credit, which is basically coupons that you get if you return products, so that's also interesting. Hell, you even get a monthly bonus if your team has auto shipments set up, and that just feels all types of weird to me. It's all sounding like a particular shape that you might be familiar with, very similar to a pyramid. But don't worry, Olive Tree people, they have a contingency plan for that belief. They're adamantly denying that they are a pyramid scheme right there in their Join Us FAQ section. Only, they made a very slight error. In the first sentence of their response to, "Is Olive Tree people a pyramid scheme?" they exclaim, quote, "No. The Olive Tree people compensation plan is not a Ponzi scheme." And just halt and let's think for a moment. I think you may have gotten your scams messed up just a little bit. While Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes are in fact very similar, they are not the same thing. Might be warranted for all of you to do just a hair more research into what scam you are adamantly claiming you are not a part of, just so you understand the difference. But don't worry, they figured it out later, saying, quote, "A pyramid scheme is illegal and Olive Tree people does not operate such a scheme." There is something just so overtly funny to me that would make them feel the need to put this on a, frequently asked questions section of their webpage. Like, I don't think this would ever hold up in court should it ever come, just for the record. Like, if it does turn out down the line, I don't know, months, years from now, whatever, that someone does sue them in a class action or personal for being a pyramid scheme, I don't think they can go back to this and go, "We said we aren't, so we aren't." The reality is you can't just put out whatever you want on the internet and just claim there's going to be no consequences just because you said it. Somehow it has to be true. You actually have to back your shit up. So if you're gonna just, blatantly lie about bullshit on the internet, eventually the law will most likely catch up with you. Although with MLMs, it only sometimes catches up with them. So I don't know, it's kind of a coin toss. Overall, Olive Tree people is kind of just your run-of-the-mill MLM. That also happens to have the ability to listen to trees for an exorbitant amount of money, which that's new. I have not seen that before. Like others, it's extremely likely that a vast majority of people who choose to sign up will wind up not making money and even possibly lose money in the process. It's just the way of the business. So if you want to pay for their face serums and shampoo, that's entirely up to you. But personally, I could not recommend buying into this supposed business. But with all of that being said, that is where we're going to have to end today's episode of Multi-Level Mondays. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Hannah Reloaded over at twitch.tv for suggesting this topic to me. Hannah is an absolutely entertaining and funny streamer over at Twitch, and I absolutely love her work, so feel free to check her out. Links will be in the description as well. Thank you all as always for making it to another episode of Multi-Level Mondays. I know there's 1.5 million things you could be doing today, but you chose to spend a couple minutes here with me, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.